2015. The PDP chieftain also met APC national leader Bola Asiwaju before his London meeting with the holidaying president. Akpabio's planned defection is scheduled to hold at the Kodekmene Township Stadium in Akwa Ibom on Thursday. The presidency has again appealed to the National Assembly to reconvene the threat pending matters needing urgent attention. Senior Special Assistant to the President of the National Assembly, Matters Itainang, made this plea in Lagos during an interaction with newsmen. He listed some of the pending urgent issues at the National Assembly to include the approval of a supplementary budget to fund the 2018 budget and the 2019 general elections. The approval of a supplementary budget, according to Enang, will enable INEC commence preparations for the 2019 polls. Also pending are key appointments for the Deputy Governor of CBN, AMCON, the EFCC and the ICPC. The federal government says 116 Nigerian migrants trapped in different Libyan slave camps will be repatriated home soon. This was made known by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, on Sunday. Dabiri-Erewa said the federal government and the International Organization for Migration have located the detention camps of Nigerians and offered to bring those willing back home. The Nigerian mission in Tripoli, she said, had traced the migrants to Osama Detention Center, Zawiya, Libya. And in Bornu, 5 suspected Boko Haram suicide bombers were confirmed dead on Sunday night after they invaded a town in Maiduguri, the Bornu state capital. The blast, however, injured 3 other residents. Multiple deafening explosions, a first of its kind to be heard by residents in recent times, echoed all over Maiduguri at about 7 p.m. on Sunday, causing panic among residents. It was reported that multiple blasts came from Kalari, a crowded Maiduguri suburb located behind University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. And in Benue, troops on a military exercise tagged Operation Royal Stroke have dislodged armed Malaysian men in Guma local government area of Benue State. Security operations was said to have been carried out along Bajamba Akko axis of the council area. Army spokesman Brigadier General Texas Chukwu disclosed in a statement that several armed gunmen were killed but did not give a figure. He added that others escaped with gunshot wounds. Items recovered include 1 AK-47 rifle, 2 AK-47 rifle magazines and 60 rounds of 7.63mm ammunition and 5 motorcycles. A wanted Boko Haram suspect, Maje Lawan, has been arrested by troops of the Operation Lafia Dole. Lawan is said to be the 96th person listed on the wanted list published by the Nigerian Army some years ago. The suspect was arrested after he was said to have infiltrated an internally displaced persons camp in Banki area of Bornu State. A statement released by the Director of Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Texas Chukwu, revealed that the suspect is undergoing preliminary investigation and will soon be handed over to the appropriate authorities. Still a Nigerian insurgency, Nigerian fighter jets have successfully conducted air raid on Boko Haram hideouts in Daban, Masara, in Bornu State. The location of the airstrikes is in the vicinity of the Lake Chad, where the insurgents are said to have put up structures. Air Force spokesman Air Commodore Ibikule Daramola said the air raid was conducted based on credible intelligence and the targets were around the southern part of the lake. Following the recent protest in Maiduguri by mobile police personnel, there is an assurance now that the outstanding allowances will be paid. The police authorities have finalized agreements to pay all outstanding allowances of operatives on special assignments in Bornu State. Commissioner of Police Damian Chukwu made this during an interview interaction session at the command headquarters in Maiduguri, the state's capital. He used the occasion to also remind them that a ban on public procession is still in force in the state and that the police will not be hesitant to enforce the law on persons and groups who breach it. The Northern Nigerian Women Assembly (NWA) has raised an alarm over the increasing use of hard drugs by women in Kano and Katsina states. The NWA President Aisha Hussaini identified peer pressure and frustration as the reason for increasing drug abuse. According to her, the rate of drug use among women in the two states have surpassed men. She also suggested a collaboration between the government and private organizations as the best way to combat the menace. The federal government has invested over 300 billion naira on road reconstruction and rehabilitation across the country. This, according to the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, is part of efforts to revamp the country's infrastructure. He said at a retreat for senior staffs that this is to keep them abreast on some critical federal government projects. The Permanent Secretary, Louis Edozie, who was represented by his Director of Procurement, also explained the basis for the retreat.
There was no national housing program in place 3 years ago, and today there is a national housing program where we are building in 34 states.
The retreat is to provide an opportunity for senior management of the ministry to develop team working skills, motivational and positive attitudes required to manage the important national sectors we supervise more effectively.
You're on to PTV today. We shall begin on a quick break. When we return, foreign news will come your way. To stay. You're welcome back. And now to the foreign scene. Chicago police have confirmed the death of 5 persons and the shooting of 44 others within a space of 14 hours. Police records showed that in 3 hours beginning at 1:30 a.m., 30 people were shot and 2 people killed in the 10 incidents. Fred Waller, Chief Bureau of Patrol, Chicago Police Department, says in at least one incident, shooters opened fire into a crowd street party, adding that the shootings occurred between midnight and 2 p.m. Police said before the violent Sunday, there were 6 shootings, none fatal, and 15 shootings, 1 fatal on Saturday. And in Indonesia, tourists fled the Indonesian island of Lombok on Monday after a magnitude 6.9 earthquake killed at least 91 people, a death toll that is expected to rise. More than 200 people were seriously injured in Sunday's shallow quake. As a result, workers scrambled to reach survivors in remote areas. National Disaster Mitigation Agency spokesman Sutopo Purwo said the damage was massive in northern Lombok. And in Congo, presidential hopefuls in the Democratic Republic of Congo have until Wednesday to file their candidacy with the Electoral Commission ahead of an election in December. The Congolese people are waiting to see if President will submit his documents to run again. He is barred by the Constitution from running for a 3rd term, but has not openly declared his intentions. Former rebel leader has submitted his candidacy to the Electoral Commission. U.S. President Donald Trump has admitted his son met a Russian lawyer in June 2016 to get information on an opponent, but argues it was legal. It is his most direct statement so far on the reason for Trump's junior meeting with Kremlin-linked lawyer Natalia Veselnitskaya at Trump's tower. Special counsel Robert Mueller is investigating U.S. intelligence findings that Russians conspired to sway the election in Trump's favor. President Trump denies any collusion. He has called the ongoing investigations in the U.S. the greatest political witch hunt in history. And in Saudi Arabia expelled Canada's ambassador over alleged interference in the kingdom's domestic affairs or after Ottawa's foreign ministry debunked Riyadh for jailing human rights activists. Canadian Ambassador Denis Horak has given 24 hours to leave the country, the Saudi press agency reported on Monday. The announcement came days after Canada called for the immediate release of rights campaigners detained during a recent wave of arrests in Saudi Arabia, including relatives of naturalized Canadian citizens. Saudi Arabia also suspended all new trade deals worth billions of dollars and recalled its envoy to Canada. And on global markets, stocks across Asia advanced on Monday as China's efforts to stop sharp declines in its currency and capital flights supported wider sentiment in the region while oil rises. The escalating Sino-US trade conflict capped gains. Meanwhile, Brent crude futures to $73.6 while US crude oil futures was $68.82 a barrel. Analysts ruled blatant oil price manipulation. Brent sweet crude oil was supposed to be at least $100. Late on Friday, the People's Bank of China raised the reserve requirement on some foreign exchange forward positions, making it more expensive to bet against the Chinese currency. The move helped pull the yuan away from 14-month lows. It boosted the Australian dollar, which is often played as a liquid proxy for yuan. The Aussie came off 2 weeks low to climb as high as $0.7412 after the announcement was at $0.7403. And that's it on the news. Many thanks for watching. I am Lilian Ogazi. Do stay on PTV.
My name is Femi Anikula Kukuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you, don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
Oh my God! Election is when we elect our leaders who represent us, and election is my right as a citizen of this country.
Election is a voting process. Election is a voting process, like vote a candidate for a leadership.
It's more like my right to choose the country's leader. My own part to play about it.
Say from layman point of view, is any activity that is aimed at putting people in a position of authority.
It's a platform, an avenue for people to elect those or get into offices, those that they want to represent them.
An election is simple now. It's just people choosing one or two people. The society choosing a number of people to represent, to lead, to coordinate, to do administration. All right.
And now you want my trust once more.
Before you can say, what an election is, there has to be an electorate. Somebody has to, vote, you understand, in an election. for people of authority to get into power.
The vote is the power of the electorate. All right, so the people brings their power to the table during an election. That's what it is.
I think it's more like us having a say of who goes there to represent us, of who we talk to, you know, that will guide us aright, you know, and give us the benefit of that. Oh, let me not use the word a past one. Or give us the benefit that what we need is what we're going to get.
Between the electorate and the election itself, the electorate are supposed to willingly vote according to their conscience, according to what they feel that the capabilities of whoever they want to elect into offices can do.
The electorate, they have the power to elect their leaders because this is a democratic setting, and you know what the meaning of democracy is. Democracy is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So it is our right as the electorate to elect our leaders.
Only God can judge you now. Only God can judge you now.
Come on, you can't buy my right. It is my right as a citizen, and you can't buy it with money. No amount of money can buy it. So because by the time you sell your right to vote, you're selling your birthright. That's the way I see it.
I think that is laughable. I don't think, you know, you need to pay to get my vote, but rather you need to earn my vote. My vote is free. I mean, I don't have to collect anything from you to vote for you. If you tell me what you are going to do, and I am okay, and I believe that voting you, you know, will mean realizing such aims and objectives, then I will cast my vote for you. I don't need to take money to vote for you.
That's a lot of money. My power is all I have got. All right. So if it's like I'm selling myself to you. If you pay me and I give you my power, my vote is my power. So it means you are ready to pay a whole lot of money. It's like I'm selling myself to you as a slave. You have total control over me. So that would be difficult to sell, actually. That will be very, very. In fact, it's difficult to explain. Well, but it's also simple to explain. You know, if I give you my power, I have sold myself to you. So why should I do that? It's my vote during an election is my power, is everything I am.
It's not a matter of money, because it's about my generation now, you know, trying to cause a change. There is no money whatsoever that, you know, one has to pay to get the right leader. The money can finish, but when the money finishes, what happens? What's next? You know, that's what we're looking at.
You can only offer me your conscience and nothing else. The conscience that I have to believe that when you get in there, you represent me well. I don't believe in selling of votes, and I can't do that. So my vote only can appeal to your conscience, and that is exactly what it is. If I find out that you cannot represent me well based on your antecedents, I can't at all vote you in, no matter how much you're giving to me.
I don't need anybody's money to vote. If I want to vote, I'll vote for someone I choose to vote for. Not because of the money.
See, all I wanna say is that they don't really care about us.
That is the bane of the problem, the bane of the issue here. Collecting money and then selling your votes. You're selling a whole generation of yours. Very wrong. So people should vote according to their conscience. No matter how much they're giving you, let them go with their money. Vote according to your conscience. And when the person comes in, he will know definitely that he did not spend any money. He has come to do work for you. And he will definitely do the work. But when he buys your vote, what do you expect him to do? Definitely nothing. If I come to you and I buy votes from you, you don't expect me to do anything for you. So if they should have any expectation on the incoming administration, they should, from this very moment, begin to reorientate themselves, begin to understand that once they say their votes, they don't have any moral justification again to ask for the amenities that these people are supposed to come in to provide for them.
They should know that, I mean, when you sell your vote, you shouldn't hold your leaders accountable for anything. Because at the end of the day, when they buy you, you are electing the wrong leaders. And it will in turn rub off on what will benefit our citizens of this country. Because what we're suffering from in this country is as a result of politicians buying our right to vote them in. That is what we're suffering from. So I don't, it should be discouraged. It should be discouraged.
If you look at the lifestyle of people who sells their vote, they are in complete penury, living in squalor. They have no hope. Leadership that continues to gives out money to buy people's vote in an election will continue to exploit the people. They would continue to refuse to do what they should do. They would continue to keep back developmental projects that is supposed to empower the people and continue to use them as piecemeals during election.
The common understanding is that once you sell your vote, it's like you said your future and you said the future of the unborn. Because one, if you sell your vote, the person who bought your vote from you bought it, with a price and his personal money. And he will have to do business to recoup his money. And by the time he's recouping his money, you will be the one to suffer.
Okay, you look at the children, you look at yourself. Are you really in the right place? Is the country in the right position? Can we compete with other countries out there? When you collect the money now and you finish it, what's happened next? So I think with that right frame of mind, people tend to think twice before they collect money, because at the end of the day, the money finishes, but the person is still there for the 4 years.
So you shouldn't allow politicians buy you over. That is what we are suffering from as citizens, because we elect the wrong people. So at the end of the day, they're not accountable to us. By the time they buy you, definitely they will recoup their money. So as a result, you will not enjoy any form of amenities. What they are supposed to do for us, of course they cannot do it for us, because they are like investors. You invest money, you want to recoup it. So you can't hold them responsible for anything.
Why you keep on deceiving the people, my brother, my sister?
When you get politicians that want to come into power by crook or by any means,
one thing is them having doubts, them not having the consciousness of producing results. When you won't produce results, you tend to pay for something. When they pay them off, they feel they can do anything there because you are being bought over, so you don't have authority anymore.
Of course, they are businessmen. That is what they are. Businessmen coming to sell, coming to buy. So when they come to you, tell them that you are not selling. They will definitely come. They don't have any other thing. They don't have nothing whatsoever to offer the country except that money that they have, with which they will come to buy your vote. And when they enter there, they don't do anything for you.
Why don't we work together so the future will be brighter?
Money politics is the worst type of politics you can experience or have anywhere in the world. So our challenge is actually coming to the place of realization, of understanding what you are, what you carry, and who you are. If we can get to that place easily, then all of this would not even come up.
People should begin to, realize that once these people are voted in on the basis of having bought your vote, I'm telling you, they will not do anything for you.
As a nation, we should know that those who are buying votes, in the first instance, do not mean well for the country. And if it is possible, the whole country should revolt against them. Once you see anybody, soliciting to buy your vote, that should be enough reason to reject that person or that political party, as the case may be.
If you vote for money, at the end of the day, the person will be doing anyhow in the power, and you have the right to say anything.
The value of my vote is enormous. It's about the change I want in my country. It's about a whole lot of things, the generation at large. We're talking about what we want to see, the change we want to see in our country. Look at the Western country out there. We are not just closed. The education is down, everything is not working, so we need something to work in this country.
My voter's card has power because it is my right. It is my right, and nobody can buy it.
I dedicate this one to all of the shady politicians. We go promise and fail and make the people live in harsh conditions. Yeah.
On Facebook, like our page and share our posts at People's TV NG. On Twitter, follow us at PTV_NG. Follow us on Instagram at PTVNG. Watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel, People's TV. Visit our website, www.ptvng.com. Subscribe now and join the conversation online. People's TV, people's preferred station.
Do you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the talent reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislatures.
This is coming together of people who are engaged.
Executive order should comply with the law.
I personally dissociate myself completely.
From this interview, because you have
said there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner, one of place the end of justice about
no religious body in Nigeria validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
Ours is a country of vast tropical and equatorial woodlands with arid deserts to extensive savanna grasslands, expansive mountains, immense rivers, numerous waterfalls, and mystical forests. Nigeria has it all. It is a place of rhythm, of dance, of music, of festivals, of tradition and culture, of spectacular color, of glamour, and a country of 200 million smiles. And home to a unique people of incomparable passion. A country blessed with breathtaking landscapes, home to some of the most diverse equatorial flora and fauna species on the earth. Nigeria is the undisputed welcoming heart of Africa. We have 521 unique ethno-linguistic groups. The world's newest and organic language, Pidgin, the world's oldest structural sign language, Hausa Sign Language. In addition to the world's oldest continuous market, the 600-year-old Kurmi market, which is situated within the ancient northern city of Kano, where 1,000-year-old city walls can still be found intact to this day. Nigeria has unique and ancient cultures, traditions and customs, and is steeped in spirituality, with as many Muslims as Christians. We also boast the world's oldest systematic religious philosophical system in Ifa, also known as Afa, and practiced as Santeria, Candomblé, Palo, Ubanda, and Voodoo, and in various countries around the world. Nigeria is also home to the world's oldest purpose-built boat, the 8,500-year-old Ifuna canoe. Nigeria is the home of African sports, both ancient and modern, and has always been the beating heart of African football, which has gifted the world with some of the most dynamic and creative football players of all time. Gifted the world with music and artists such as the late Fela Kuti, King Sunny Ade, Seal, and many international performing artists, including Dame Shirley Bassey and Shadi Adu. Our country has also gifted the world with giants of African literature and poetry. Nigeria is a country on the move, a country of hard-working people and industrious and creative people. Our film industry, known as Nollywood, produces more movies in one day than Hollywood produces in 2 weeks, and is the place of thousands of stars and of millions of wonderfully welcoming, warm people. We are a country of kings, of queens, businessmen, and businesswomen. A place of vast sprawling game parks, a country where African traditions have always been first. A country of drums, of colors, culture, of festivals, of music, of rhythm, and art. This is Nigeria. There is simply nothing quite like it.
To, da kai da ke da ita da shi da kowa nake so na yi magana da. Me ke faruwa? Kana son karuwa ga ka zaune bakin rijiya amma kana jin kishin ruwa? Gangan jikin siyasa. In ta dangwala ka dangwala na dangwala. Ina amfanin ana yi ba da kai ba? A turancin Najeriya to an gaya maka. No sit down look. Kana sit down kana looking komai na ƙara lalacewa? Ina ka ga daman ƙorafi? Da masu jini a jika ake yi. Watan matasa. Kwankwasa a buɗa ki shige. Dago ka shaki iska ko kalime. Da ƙyar ka sha yafi da ƙyar aka kama ka. No sit down look. Matasa ke siyasa. Yin rajista, karɓi katin zaɓe yana da amfani ƙwarai kwa.
No sit down look.
No sit down look.
No sit down look.
Make una no sit down look oh.
European imperial adventure in Nigeria was essentially an enterprise in exploitation early in the days of imperialism. Economic policy, particularly in the field of banking and currency, were crafted for the benefit of the enterprise. Among the results of British adventurism in Nigeria was a successful demonetization of the traditional currencies in the 19th and 20th century. In their place was introduced the British monetary system, consisting of the coins and notes. These forms of money thus became a common denominator for economic exchange in colonial Nigeria. Following the attainment of political independence in 1960, Nigerian authorities had to introduce what might be described as truly Nigerian currencies. Nigeria has used various forms of currencies, including cowries and manillas during the British Nigerian colonial rule. Pounds and shillings was Nigeria's legal tender. On July 1, 1959, the Central Bank of Nigeria issued the first indigenous Nigeria currency in the denominations of 5 shillings, 10 shillings, and 1 pound notes, which saw the end to the West African Currency Board notes and coins, which has been in existence since 1912. As the saying goes, change is constant. On July 1, 1962, the new government of Nigeria saw the need to change the legal tender status of the currency to reflect the country's new status. In 1963, following the attainment of a republican status, a political decision was taken to replace the existing currency notes due to its misuse and as a war strategy. This was in compliance with the CBN Decree number 51 of December 30th, 1967. Since at the time of the decree, the country was engaged in a civil war that lasted between 1967 to 1970. To this end, a decision to remove all the stocks of the new notes to a branch of the CBN and all the sub-centers was taken in June 1964. Meanwhile, implementation began on July 1st, 1965. However, the old and new currency still bore pictures of Nigeria's main export commodity, cocoa, groundnut, and palm produce. In March 1971, the then head of state announced that Nigeria would change the decimal currency. As of January 1st, 1973, the Nigerian currency was decimalized. This development in the country's currency history did put an end to the use of Nigeria's pounds, shillings, and pence. Meanwhile, in their place came the naira and kobo. The major currency note was called naira, and it was equivalent to 10 shillings. The minor currency note was called kobo, 100 of which make 1 naira. 6 months to January 2nd, 1973, the date the new currency came into use, the CBN introduced coins in the value of 1 kobo, 10 kobo, and 25 kobo into the economy. The bank embarked on this line of action with a directive to shops and stores to fix prices of their commodity into the new as well as the old currency unit. The advanced arrangement was meant to provide enough enlightenment to members of the public. On its part, the Decimal Currency Board of the CBN, through its publicity unit, embarked on the distribution of posters, conversion table, leaflets, and other publications to educate the public on the decimalization arrangement. The 1970s experienced a significant increase in the volume of economic activities in Nigeria, with a phenomenal growth in the volume of commercial transactions coupled with the oil boom of the decade. On 2nd July 1979, for a takeoff, the new currency were in 4 various denominations of bank notes, which were 50 kobo, 1 naira, 5 naira, and 10 naira. The change that took place was a major one, and this involved both currency notes and coins. Meanwhile, the major unit of currency, which used to be 1 pound, ceased to exist, and the 1 naira, which was equivalent to 10 shillings, became the major unit. On 11th February 1977, after the assassination of the then head of state, General Murtala Muhammad, a new banknote of the denomination of the value of 20 naira was issued. This was special because it was the highest denomination to be issued then, and it became necessary then as a result of the economic growth. The 20 naira banknote became the first banknote in Nigeria bearing the portrait of a Nigerian citizen. In this case was the late head of state, General Murtala Muhammad, 1938 to 1976, who was the torchbearer of the Nigerian Revolution in July 1975. In 1984, the Nigerian military government of Muhammadu Buhari, in an attempt to legitimize its interruption of the democratic process through a military coup d'etat, directed the CBN to cause a change in the colors of the Nigerian currency. The exercise was designed to devalue the money alleged to have been stolen by Nigerian political leaders. In 1991, both the 50 kobo, 1 naira note were coins. It is believed that monetary reforms of this period, particularly the introduction of the 50 naira currency note, were carried out in response to increased private and privated spending resulting from Nigeria's excess oil revenue of the period. Some Nigerian currencies were recommended for redesign, but it was not accepted by certain sectors of the Nigerian society. Some Nigerians were inclined to believe that the demonetization of the smaller denomination was meant to depreciate the value of the currency. This particular reform heralded the erosion of coins in Nigeria and precipitated its waning use. Consequently, the 5 naira notes became the minimum denomination acceptable in the Nigerian society. In response to the expansion in economic activities and to facilitate efficient payment system, the currency reforms continued in 1999 with the introduction of the 100 naira banknote. In the front view, the currency unit bears the portrait of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Premier of Western Region of Nigeria in the 1950s and leader of the opposition party at the federal level in the 1960s. In its back view is a picture of the Zuma Rock. November 2000 and April 2001, the CBN issued 200, 500 banknotes respectively, with the former bearing the portrait of Alhaji Sir Ahmadu Bello, former Premier of the defunct Northern Region. On the back view of the currency denomination are pictures of heads of cattle, agricultural products, and the Nigerian coat of arms. The 500 naira denomination bears in its front view the portrait of Chief Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Premier of the defunct Eastern Region and first Nigerian President between 1963 and 1966. It bears the Nigeria coat of arms on the reverse side. It also bears the Naira sign on both sides of the note. The latest currency denomination introduced in Nigeria was the 1000 Naira currency note. This was introduced on the 12th of October 2005 by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Peculiar to this currency is that it bears in front views portraits of the past CBN governors: Alhaji Aliyu Maibronu, Governor of the Central Bank 1963 to 1969, and Dr. Clement Isong, Governor of the Central Bank 1967 to 1975. There is also a gold foil on the front of the note with the Nigerian coat of arms and the numeral 1000. Also peculiar to this denomination is that it is devoid of the Naira sign. The trend of higher currency denominations in Nigeria over the years has only testified to the fact that the Naira has depreciated against the dollar, pounds, and other advanced capitalist currencies of the Western Hemisphere. Here are the faces of Nigeria heroes that have graced the Nigerian currency over time.
Since how many years now? I don't believe tomorrow. Ah, when? Today I've been there. It's supposed to pressure people. They are going see many of them. It's a typical lie. Many of those that are even defected, how many of them have value in their state? Wait now. Value in their state. Wait, come on. Don't that are defected. Don't
everybody know Saraki is a PDP from day one. You understand? And in politics, everybody will take, because what he really believes is that if he come back, he want to be a Senate president again, and which cannot be. Even this present Senate president that he's doing, assuming South or Southeast, they have Senate from APC. One will march as Senate president, because we have 3 regions in Nigeria: Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. You get what I'm saying? Now, I do negotiation with APC that if they come back, are they going to give him Senate president? Which answer is no. Do you understand? And it discussed with the PDP, where I can see the soft landing. And I believe that was the reason why he moved to PDP.
We know quite well that Saraki is a master planner. He's a game planner. He came in as Senate president without the authority of the party, the APC, interested in him to be the Senate president. But he used his abracadabra, sort of, to come in as Senate president. And since then, this government has never seen the light of the day, because it's like it's one leg in PDP, another leg in the APC since he came in. That's what we have been witnessing. That is why this government is not moving forward. Let's tell ourselves the truth and the blatant truth. The government is not moving forward because an opposition is in the party, is within the system, within the party. Anything the executive wants to do, the Senate will not want to approve it. So it's causing some delay. There are a lot of problems.
You know, Nigeria politics, little by little, will get it right. To me, Nigeria, we are just celebrating the capitalists, the achievers. You understand me? We are not celebrating the ideology. Any person that come to this country telling Nigeria where to go, the way forward, become the enemy of Nigeria. You understand me? When they are forming APC, we are all clapping that, oh, we are expecting a better change. We know where we are, and then today, everybody can set the level that...
When Senate President emerged as a Senate President, since then, the journey have not been sweet for him. He said it when the Supreme Court declared him acquitted, that since started this administration with APC, things have they don't allow you to work. And 75% all the APC members know that the way this man is doing is not a card member of APC. But now, I remember, but I cannot remember that proverb very well. When I read on Awu, said that the difference between water and oil, when the time comes, the water will go is right, while the oil will go the left. So that is it's time for him to leave, because go back to Kwara State too. The environment is not conducive for him. Even federal too, the environment is not conducive for him. Let him go back to the Poverty Development Party, because almost about 16 years they don't do us well in this country. So even youth, there's some youth now, they'll be mobilizing, they'll be shouting, PDP, I'll just be looking at them, be laughing. Because you worship wet. You forget our future. If you want to see a sample now, let somebody just bring 2,000 or 1,000 here now. If people they say change. If you get the person give another PDP come, other party come, they say the same thing. Where are we going?
The Senate President camping from the president, from his former party to the present party, which is PDP. What I have to say about that issue is that, so many people, they are looking at his faults. Some are blowing their grammar, bringing out their philosophies, one philosophy or the other, and they are blaming him. The question we Nigeria have to ask ourselves about this issue is that when you see somebody running away from one place to another, you yourself, you should ask yourself, why is this person running away? Either the place he's staying is no longer favoring him, or the place he's staying is being well corrupt, that he cannot endure in that place, and that is why he has run from that place to another place. Now, the Senate president has run away from APC. Then the issue now is, what is APC doing? What is APC contributing? Which help is APC giving to we Nigerians at the moment? That is the question we need to ask ourselves.
The defection of Senate president is expected, you understand, because a situation whereby some people are using some to certain ideology of investing, paddling and sorts of things, you understand. If they don't feel the same where they are, if the house did not contain them, they will leave it. It's like you leave Ghana to Nigeria and you discover that the problem you are facing in Nigeria is more than what is happening in Ghana. You will go back to where you were coming from, you understand. These people we are talking about, they are PDP in APC. They called them G7 those days, and they match with APC to come to the government. Some of them are even thinking within themselves they are very powerful. I want to tell you today is false. Look at Muazu Babangida Aliyu, the Taliban of former governor of Niger State. He was the former governor of PDP Forum. Where is he today? He even lost his senatorial election, you understand. People like Saraki, they ride on Buhari, but they felt that they are somebody important. Let me tell you something. At the earlier of this government, you discover that Bukola Saraki betrayed his party. By what? By conniving with opposition to come in government, making what has never happened in the history of Nigeria, the opposition becoming the Senate president. That is a fighter position. You trade it for your service and greatness interest.
Since how many years now? I don't want to talk. Ah, when? Today I've been there.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
Cross-carpeting has been a trend since the First Republic. Now, when members of the NCNC, led by the late Nnamdi Azikiwe, crossed en masse in the Western Parliament to the Action Group, which was led by late Obafemi Awolowo. Now, the recent cross-carpeting by federal lawmakers has caused an uproar in the Nigerian polity and has raised many questions in the minds of Nigerians, especially that of the Senate President Bukola Saraki that just happened recently. Now, today on Inside Story, we shall be looking at the implication of Saraki's defection on the Senate and on his seat. Now, joining me in the studio to talk about this is a veteran of the Senate Press Corps and one-time spokesman for Senate President Taiwo Adisa, and he's also the political editor of the Tribune newspaper. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
And also here is Omeza Ajayi, political correspondent with Vanguard newspaper. You're welcome. It was great having you here again, and you're welcome here as well. Now let's get straight to the activity of the day. Now, starting off with you, Taiwo. It's another season of defection, and the polity is being heated. What comes to mind?
Yeah, it comes to mind that if history is repeating itself all over again. So surprising, because it's the same trend. Usually when history wants to repeat itself, it drops some elements of the past. But this one is just completely a replica of what we have seen before, particularly what we saw 2013, 2014. And it's surprising that the political actors of today did not learn from what happened 2013, 2014, or what they themselves did 2013, 2014, and they are allowing it to repeat itself just the same way. So surprising. But it's interesting that we are witnessing the trend again. A lot of people are already predicting that 2022 we are likely going to see such trends again.
Yes.
It's interesting, very good.
Okay, how about you, Meza? Now, with all this defection in the polity and all of that, what first came to your mind when you heard about it all?
Well, you know, these things are always expected when elections are close. Like you said, history is repeating itself. The interesting thing is that the actors have not changed. So when he said history is repeating itself like almost 100%, that is why, because it is still the same actors. These were the people who in times past also did what they are doing now, several months to the election, and they are doing it now again. So for me, I think it is healthy for us, because really, when you look at the two parties, we don't have ideological based parties, because we are not even right for that. You know, that is why when government constructs roads, we hail them, even though those are not the things we should even be concerned about now. It's a given, you know. I looked at the railway, one of the railway projects. Like, one administration started it, they couldn't do it, but now Buhari has done it. Government is a continuum. We shouldn't even be focusing on that. But because we still lag behind when it comes to development, so that's why we focus on those things. So the APC, PDP, they are the same. So these things are expected. They always cross carpet. Because what matters to a politician, they are not statesmen. What matters to them is the next election, and the next election is just by the corner. So it's expected they will begin to move, you know, go to where the interest will be best protected.
Okay, now back to you, Taiwo. Now let's quickly take a look at the movements. Now, can it be compared to that of 2014?
Exactly. That's why, like I said before, that history is repeating itself completely 100%. It's comparable. I say that, I've not seen 5 governors going, but it's around the same cycle. You've seen Benue governor going back to PDP. He was a member of PDP. You've seen Tamboa, who was speaker and the leader of what I would call quote-unquote insurrection in the house against the PDP at that time, coming back to PDP, the same party. You've seen Saraki, who was also quote-unquote leader of that same similar insurrection in the Senate, although it was tempered in the Senate at that time. But he was the leader of the opposition, the people that wanted to defect. Though Senate President Mark was able to manage it, it did not boomerang on the floor of the Senate. But he led the others, and they cross-carpeted in their various constituencies. Eventually, he has come back to PDP now. So it's in the same magnitude. You can completely say it's the same thing, and it's also interesting in the sense that the characters are similar, and what you are also looking at is the same. What you are looking at is the presidency. The presidency of Nigeria was at stake 2013, 2014, 2015. Now the presidency of Nigeria is at stake again 2019. And it's interesting that we are following the same path.
How about you? Do you agree with that? Which was worse, that of 2014? Can it be compared to now?
Yes, there's a lot of comparison. Like I said, the actors have not changed.
Okay.
What is going to make the difference is the outcome. What impact is this going to have? Well, it has had some political impact. Is it going to have electoral impact? You know, is it going to affect the outcome of the 2019 elections as it did in the last general elections in 2015? I think that is going to be the basic difference. But for now, what is happening is also a semblance of what happened in 2014.
Okay, now back to you, Taiwo. Let's talk about the defection of Senate President Bukola Saraki.
Yes.
Did he come as a surprise to you?
Well, it didn't come to me as a surprise at all. It didn't come as a surprise. Well, what I would say is surprising is that he kept it for that long. Because I was surprised that he was able to stay in there for that long. From 2015 May, thereabout. You already know that Saraki had become an outcast in the APC, though he helped them to win the election, though he helped them to get a majority in the National Assembly. Immediately he showed his hands that he wanted to contest the Senate presidency. The party got divided along 3 lines. Some people wanted Akume, some people wanted the current Senate leader, and some people wanted him. But he was able to work with his colleagues, former colleagues in the PDP, and he was able to get the seat. But as soon as he got the seat, also, you saw the drama on the day of June 9, 2015, when the entire National Assembly was shut down. Nobody was allowed to go in. Was not allowed to. None of the reporters or correspondents were allowed to go in. And it took the intervention of the social media. We had to post the message on the social media before the presidency was able to intervene and call the IG that, oh, okay, journalists, you go in there and all that. They wanted a kind of the scenario that we just saw in Benue. Maybe just a few selected people will be allowed to enter into the National Assembly, and then they will do their thing and all that. But it didn't work out at the national level. So we were able to gain. And from that day, Saraki knew that he was a marked man in the APC. And everybody watching the politics knew that he was a marked man in the APC. That he was able to sustain it for this long is what will come as a surprise. But it didn't shock me that he left APC.
Okay, now back to you, Meza. We're still talking about Saraki's defection now. How damaging could it possibly be to the APC, and how rewarding is his defection to the PDP?
Well, if we want to look at the past, when they left the PDP for the APC, we saw the damage they did to the PDP, and how that's translated to gains, political electoral gains for the party they joined, the APC. But now the scenario might not have changed much. It's just that the players, the power brokers now, because the PDP, they were in power. Now you have the APC in power. Okay. And the people we have in the APC now, because they have been in opposition for quite some time, they seem to understand that they have power. They have tasted it for 3 years, and they will not want to let it go just like that. So, but even at that, it's still going to be. It's going to have a lot of political damage for the APC. People are discussing it. A lot of opinions here and there. We just said that even in Kwara, some at the local government level, the chairman, councillors, they have defected. These are grassroots politicians. If they maintain the grassroots, if they still have that connection with the grassroots, you will know that in the next elections, it is going to cause a lot of damage for the APC. This does not mean that the PDP, I am not postulating that the PDP will win the general elections. But even if they do not win the general elections, with the number of people that have left the APC now, APC, they're also saying that people are coming to their party, but human beings are equal. But still, when you look at the quality, political quality, of these people who are also moving to the APC and those that are moving to the PDP, you know that a lot of big wigs have moved into the PDP than those that have moved into the APC. So for me, I think it is going to impact so much. For instance, the votes from Kwara, even in Kano, the president scored 1.9 million when Kwankwaso was there. Definitely, I doubt if that is going to repeat itself again. He might make an appreciable impact there, but with Kwankwaso, Shekarau, and Ambassador Wali in the PDP, definitely Kano is not. It's not just for anyone for the taking. It's going to be maybe 50-50 for them.
Okay, I think that's your thought. Before we get your reactions on what he just said, now let us look at the reactions of Nigerians on the streets of Abuja. Most of them reacted positively, some reacted negatively, and had different ideas on Saraki's exit and implication of it as well. So on this Vox Pop, we have reactions of FCT residents on Saraki's defection. Let's take a look at it.
Many of those that are even defected, how many of them have value in their state? Wait now. Wait, come on.
This was a scene at one of Abuja's newsstands. Bukola Saraki's defection is the issue that has triggered an argument. When the back and forth subsided, it was clear that many are divided on the import of the Senate President's return to the PDP.
In the Israel thing, so they are defecting from one party, jumping from one party to the other because of their personal interest. They don't have the interest of the masses at heart. These are a set of people who have been ruining us over the years. All of us have been crying. So what have they done so good that will warrant people celebrating their return to PDP, which they have dumped over 4 years? So what are we talking about here? So people know, they don't seem to know where their problem lies. Do you understand? The issue here is we must have a government that will restructure this country, that will put this country in the right path and perspective.
You understand? Because a situation whereby some people are using some to certain ideology of investing, paddling and sorts of things. You understand? If they don't feel the same where they are, if the house did not contain them, they will leave it. It's like you leave Ghana to Nigeria and you discover that the problem you are facing in Nigeria is more than what is happening in Ghana. You will go back to where you were coming from. You understand? These people we are talking about, they are PDP in APC. They called them G7 those days. And they match with APC to come to the government. Some of them are even thinking within themselves they are very powerful. I want to tell you today is false. Look at Muazu Babangida Aliyu, the Taliban of former governor of Niger State. He was the former governor of PDP Forum. Where is he today? He even lost his senatorial election. You understand? People like Saraki, they ride on Buhari, but they felt that they are somebody important. Let me tell you something. At the earlier of this government, you discovered that Bukola Saraki betrayed his party. By what? By conniving with opposition to come in government, making what has never happened in the history of Nigeria, the opposition becoming the Senate president. That is a fighter position. You trade it for your service and greediness interest, not minding. And then look at it. Look at it now. What they have been doing in legislations is for them to make a laws. ADB, they make a law that will make a life to be more comfortable for us, for the citizen. The executive arm of government will not have a choice that obeyed source law.
Everybody know Saraki is a PDP from day one. You understand? And in politics, everybody will take, because what you really believe is that if you come back, you want to be a Senate president again, and which cannot be. Even this present Senate president that is doing, assuming South or Southeast, they have Senate from APC. One will march as Senate president because we have 3 regions in Nigeria: Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. You get what I'm saying? Now, I do negotiation with APC that if they come back, are they going to give him Senate president? Which answer is no. Do you understand? And it discussed with the PDP, where I can see the soft landing. And I believe that was the reason why he moved to PDP. Because he's in the APC. And likewise, whoever that come through APC as a senator before Tony Buhari in the 2015 election, most of them will not come back.
It's a welcome development. You know, Nigeria politics, little by little, will get it right. To me, Nigeria, we are just celebrating the capitalists, the achievers. You understand me? We are not celebrating the ideology. Any person that come to this country telling Nigeria where to go, the way forward, become the enemy of Nigeria. You understand me? When they are forming APC, we are all clapping that, oh, we are expecting a better change. We know where we are, and then today, everybody can set the level that we are. Now, it's just a failure in government. Everybody will say what is happening if you are in APC today, even if you looted billions of dollars. But you are in APC, you are a good man. But when you are not there, they will begin all this propaganda, media, newspapers, corruption fighting, police will now become party partition and all these things. See, it's a very good so that Nigeria will repackage ourselves.
And for many, the political environment will be more interesting now that the elections are a few months away.
Has run away from APC. The issue now is, what is APC doing? What is APC contributing? Which help is APC giving to we Nigerians at the moment? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. We don't need to deceive ourselves. Government has failed. Government in Nigeria, it has failed woefully in so many areas. In the aspect of we youth, we Nigerian youths, government has really failed us. That is the
master planner. It's a game planner. He came in as Senate President without the authority of the party, the APC, interested in him to be the Senate President.
But with me, I still have Taiwo, Adisa, and Umeza here with me in the studio. Now, let me start with you, Taiwo. Now, let's look at Senate President's 20-paragraph letter. You must have read his 20-paragraph letter on his defection. Yeah. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I think as a politician, he has to give a background to what he's doing. He's made up his mind some months back, that is going out of APC. But he has to lay a foundation for it. He has to showcase to us, the people, oh, this is what I've gone through, and this is a basis and foundation for why I have to go to where I was before. So I think he chronicled almost everything that I had gone through. He chronicled both all the things I could put on the table, because as a politician, it's not everything that you can just put out there. As a statesman also, it's not everything that I can put out there. But I think he chronicled what can be said and what the people may want to know to justify his position. I think it's justifiable. If you are in a particular party, you are supposed to be a senior member of that party. I had for a long time, most of the NEC meetings they had, they don't consult him. They don't allow his input and all that. So a lot of things that we've had, so a lot of things that he put in there, I think are justifiable for him to leave the party as he did.
Okay, now, how about you? Do you agree with that? Now, okay, let me even, now, some people said he was even more grateful than Tambuwal, someone like Tambuwal, when he was defecting. At least he acknowledged APC chairman and the vice president. Umeza, do you agree with that?
Well, you know, he's a number 3 man. So at that level, your language is tempered. You know, Tambuwal is the governor of a state, and is among those that people are referred to as the young thugs. You know, so we can't compare their language. But what the Senate president said in that statement, you know, he catalogued everything that happened to him, the travels, and that even when he was ready for reconciliation, there were people who were just bent on pushing him out of the party. And of course it is obvious, because some of us knew he was going to leave the APC at a certain point, because it was just a week after the president was inaugurated that his problem started. I think it was June 4 or June 5 when the National Assembly was June 9. That's when the National Assembly was inaugurated. So it was that day that his problem started. So all the things he said, because if you look at, you will recall that even that day that he issued that statement, having resigned from the party still went ahead to publish a query issued to him. The query was dated that same day. You know, for somebody that had resigned, what was the need to have published that? You know, it wasn't as if you had sent the query to him before he resigned. The man had resigned, but apparently, maybe to embarrass him, I didn't know, the statement was still released.
Okay, still with you, Umeza. Now, do you agree that Saraki could have stayed back in APC based on peace talks, or he was just playing politics with that comment?
No, you see, there was a time the president foreclosed further negotiation with the RAPC, and whether we like it or not, when you analyze issues, you know where Saraki belongs. You know, RAPC, they were in talks. They were having talks with the vice president. They were to meet the president. Later, the president foreclosed NPDP. Yes. You know, later the president foreclosed the further negotiations with that group. So, if the president had done, that was why when Oshomole came and he was, you know, running up and down, trying to troubleshoot here and there. Personally, I felt nothing tangible was going to come out of that, because the president, the man who is the one to dole out patronage, you know, the man who is in charge, the man says he's no longer interested in talks with these people. And then you are the chairman of the party. On what basis are you going to negotiate? Would they have been negotiating with these people? You know, if he had reached agreements with this new PDP or the RAPC, would the agreement or the resolution have been binding on the president? You know. So for me, that troubleshooting effort, it was neither here nor there. So for Saraki to have done that, he saw the handwriting on the wall. In fact, some people believe that this decision is coming too late. That he should have taken this decision last year or early this year. But apparently, he wanted to be through with his cases in court, you know, before taking such an important.
Okay, about you, Mtai, would you agree with what he just said?
Yeah, very well. I agree with him that a lot of people expected him to have left the party long before now. A lot of people believed, who have watched the politics, believe that he conceded so much to the APC or APC system, probably believing that there will be peace at the end of the day. Eventually, the party was not ready for that peace. So his eventual departure from the party was not just orchestrated to an extent, it was written that he just have to go. We cannot work with him. We cannot place him in our party. And I think a lot of APC leaders are a bit afraid of the Saraki personnel, so to say, that, oh, this man, if he could take on the political system in his own home state, with his father being one of the political victims along the way, they could take on anybody. So probably they felt that they have to just ship him out so that they could maintain the structure of their party and run it the way they like.
Okay, now, some members of the PDP's House Rep caucus now were at the National Assembly yesterday night to stop what they say was a plot to convene and impeach Saraki. Now, is this remotely possible for that to happen during recess and for Rep members to intervene in Senate matter?
Very well. The reps, House of Reps and the Senate, they occupy the same chamber, the same White House, it's the same parliament. We just have two chambers. It's one parliament that we have. We just have two chambers. You know, whatever happens in one affects the other, and whatever affects the other affects both of them. Like you saw the day the Senate was invaded, the House of this year, the House of Reps suspended its sitting, and a whole lot of them went into the chamber of the Senate to solidarize with them and to pass a joint resolution right there. That was not the first time. During Naba, that also happened when the Senate was having a leadership crisis. The House intervened to try to make peace inside the Senate. The Senate has also done that under David Mark. When the House was having problems, the Senate intervened to also make peace. So it's one house, really. So the House of Rep members can do that. They can keep vigil in the National Assembly to make sure that there is peace. But we have to take the conversation further than that. That's like resorting to motor park democracy, so to say, if I may call it, because our rules are very clear. When the chamber is on recess, the only person that can call back that chamber is the leadership of the either the Senate or the House. It has happened severally. I can't count how many times. There have been emergency sessions, and the emergency session will be called by the leadership of the chamber affected or the two chambers, if all of them have to come together and come back. Now, it's not for one senator or 10 senators or 20 senators or senators of one party to come around and say they want to open the chamber. You can't open the chamber. because it will be legal, it will be criminal. In fact, it will be close to a coup against the country, because the rules are very clear. Once the Senate is on recess, once the House is on recess, only the presiding officer can call them back. And when they are called back, it's with implications. It's not just call them back as if they are your boys. When you call back the chamber from wherever on a recess like this, you have to pay for wherever they are coming from. You have to pay them. You can't just call them back because they are already on recess. Now, as to whether they can call short their recess because of passage of a bill or whatever, they can call short a recess for emergency reasons, but not just for routine things, because they are entitled to the recess. It's like the situation of the judiciary. You can't say that because there's a case of murder that must be judged, the Supreme Court should call off its recess when they are on recess for a particular time. So it's normal that they should go on recess, but it's abnormal for anybody to say you want to convene the House through illegal means. We shouldn't contemplate that.
Okay, Omeza, do you agree with that it is okay for Rep. Sumba to intervene in Senate matters?
Of course, we've seen it play out often and often. You know, the two houses are interwoven. They're like two sides of the same coin.
Okay.
You know, so what affects one affects the other. But on the issue of reconvening the House, you see, anything can happen in this country. In politics, everything and anything is possible. You recall when the late Chuba Okada his village with the mace. Then it was because there was a plan to impeach him. The Senate were on recess, and some people were trying to reconvene forcefully. And the man took the mace and went.
I know it was a joke. It was just a political joke. just to deceive his enemies.
In this country where a sitting governor was, if not all, was abducted, you know, it took the effort of some other security agencies who didn't want to be seen as being too pliant, you know, to stop that abduction. So if a sitting governor, the chief security officer of a state, could be abducted, is it impeachment? We've been here when some minority members were used to impeach state House of Assembly speakers. So our democracy is still evolving. What we have, you see, somebody told me of recent that Nigerians, we are not programmed for democracy. Our own type of democracy is still like militocracy. That is why you can have a minority member, even in Benue, minority members going into the house and serving an impeachment notice on the government. You know, so it is possible, you know. But I believe that with the level of awareness in this country, in spite of the misgivings that some sections of Nigerians might have against the national parliament, I think anybody who will want to forcefully reconvene the Senate might just be trying to test the patience of Nigerians, and I don't think Nigerians will be that patient with such characters. Okay,
now back to you, Taiwo. Now, as someone who has covered the National Assembly for years, now do you think Saraki would lose his seat, especially if APC remains the majority in the House?
Well, the setting in the National Assembly currently, in fact, since June 9, 2015, that setting is difficult to undermine. I mean the setting in the leadership of the Senate particularly. The setting is such that a two-party arrangement. It's the first time we are seeing that, particularly in the Senate. And but it's difficult to undermine or to outweigh because the coloration of the parties, the configuration of the parties in the chamber makes it difficult for either of them to get to third majority that you can use to remove a Senate president or the deputy Senate president. You recall that one of the problems they put, one of the sins, quote unquote, of Saraki against the APC is that it did not allow a Ekweremadu to be removed. But the rule is such that the number that you need to remove Saraki is the same number you need to remove Ekweremadu. So Saraki will not allow you to get that number because it could be a double-edged sword. If you use it against Ekweremadu, what will stop you from using it against him? So you cannot get the two-thirds. So you cannot remove Saraki. whether he remains in PDP or even if APC gains more majority tomorrow, you cannot still remove Saraki because you cannot get the number. You need 73 senators. And now, according to the Senate leader, APC has 52, PDP has 50. But when you look at those 52 and 50, you see that a lot of people, their interests are either here or there. Some of the 52 that APC is counting includes members of the PDP, people who were in PDP, who were lured into APC by Saraki. So when you do the calculations, you see that you are really on a tight rope when you are looking for numbers. Okay. So it's difficult to impeach him, whether he remains in PDP or the APC regains majority.
Okay, now to you, Amazing. Now, what do you expect on September 25th when the Senate resumes with Saraki now in the PDP?
Well, there could be attempts to remove him, as played out in some state assemblies, even though we know that certain things that play out in state assemblies can hardly play out at the National Assembly. But in politics, never say never. In Plateau, when at the onset of this administration, the PDP were in the majority in the state assembly, but they had to elect a speaker from the APC because the governor was from the APC. They elected a speaker from the minority. In Kogi, it was the same thing. In fact, the speaker was initially of the PDP in Kogi with an APC governor. But along the line, the governor was able to bulldoze his way, muzzle his way through. And some people defected some members defected to the APC. And then the stage was now set for the APC to elect their own speaker. Now, at the Senate, when they reconvene, we are not going to see them talking, discussing developmental issues. For me, that's why I'm scared. Because what we are going to be seeing is politicking. People, even now the PDP, they are claiming to have the majority. The APC, they are claiming to have the majority. So by the time they reconvene, the issue of the Senate leadership will have to be settled. Who has the majority? If it is the PDP, then the Senate leader has to come from there. So if it is the APC, then Ahmed Lawan will still retain his seat. And the APC national chairman yesterday, Oshomole, said if you belong to a family and because by virtue of your membership of that family, you were given a crown, you now decide to leave that family for another family, that the right thing to do is to drop that crown. So he was making allusions to Saraki's Senate presidency, that having left the APC family for the PDP family, he should drop that office. So we are going to see interesting times, from that September 25. I believe from this statement from the APC chairman, they will try to do everything to see that Saraki loses that seat. But practically, I do not see how that's
going to happen. How about you? What do you expect come September 25th?
Yeah, you see fireworks. You see a lot of fireworks, political fireworks from the APC wanting to show that it's there. It's not out. It's not down or it's not out. You also see fireworks from the PDP trying to contain, because now Saraki is in PDP, so we can say from PDP. So safely, we can say that PDP is in control of the Senate now. The Senate, the deputy is from PDP, and he is also going back to PDP. So you're going to see a lot of fireworks coming from the politicking within the parties. First of all, you have to settle, like you said, you have to settle the issue of leadership, because that's very critical. Because that's one defined issue in the parliament. You have to know which party is in majority. Although the issue of the Senate president or presiding officer really is something that the Constitution is silent about. You can come from any of the parties. You can come from any senator. What qualifies you to be the presiding officer is your membership of that chamber, not the party that you belong to. Whether party A has overwhelming majority or party B has overwhelming majority or does not count in the rules of the Senate or in the House. Or even the same thing goes for the Houses of Assembly. The party that you belong does not really matter. What matters is how many of the members are supporting you on that day to make you to get the simple majority. It's just simple majority to become the presiding officer. It is when you become that presiding officer to remove you you now need 2/3 majority of the members, which is a very difficult task. So you see a lot of battles. You might also see a lot of fight, some things that the presiding officers have kept under the table, maybe in trying to preserve the APC before, in terms of investigations and all that. You see some things coming out now more than before, because this is an opposition party versus the party in government. So you see more battles at the level of investigation, more public hearings to add some things that have been kept on under the table before.
You know, Tambuwal did that when he was speaker. When he was trying to fight Jonathan, what the House practically did was to embark on several investigations, through which they were unable to unearth so many shady deals, you know, so to speak. And that alone, to some extent, served the purpose for which they were doing that, you know, because some voters were like, so this government could be this, you know, so they had to switch their minds to say, okay, let us vote for the APC. So that can also play out by the time they reconvene.
Okay, we look forward to seeing what happens with the reconvene. Now, Taiwo, you have seen as many as 4 senates. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, how would you? How am I right? Yes. Okay. Now, how would you compare Saraki's plight against, for instance, that of Adolphus Wabara, who we worked for?
Plight. Well, the difference is that Saraki, yes, was on the same party with his president, but they were not of the same mindset from ab initio. Wabara was on the same wavelength with President Obasanjo for a long time, before they started. Let me mention this, that before the election of 2003, President Obasanjo had made up his mind that the next Senate president will be Wabara. That once he should go and contest, once he wins his seat, he will be his Senate president for the next session. So before that election, going to that election, it was already clear to Obasanjo that he wanted this man. Because the politicking that took place before then, that's 2000, 2001, 2002, has played up a lot of personalities in the Senate. Wabara was in that 99 Senate. So, and his name was coming up one time or the other, but politicking then threw up another person up to Ayim. When it was it was in contention when Ayim was eventually picked. But when Ayim fell out with Obasanjo, so Obasanjo now had to come to him and say there were plots to actually ensure that Ayim did not finish his tenure. But Ayim was able to outwit all them to outmaneuver the plots. And so from November thereabout 2002, Obasanjo had made up his mind that this is the person he was going to work with when they come back. And eventually they came back and they were working along the same line. They were working together. Wabara had no inkling that Obasanjo could move against him. And all that. But the third term thing was coming, which we didn't know. It was coming in parables then. A lot of insights came into us, and I recall that we had an emergency meeting of the staff with him, and based on the intelligence report that we were getting then, we told him that if we could there are a lot of battles were ahead from that January, that if we could survive up to August of 2005, he will finish his presidency. That was based on some of the intels we were having. We didn't know that Obasanjo was going to apply the sledgehammer, so to say, on our hand. So, and when Obasanjo saw the links that they had together, he had to apply the sledgehammer and on an instant basis, so that there was no time for second guessing, and such that all the people that connect them together would not be able to intervene. That was how he was able to go to national television to say, oh, I saw this, so I saw this and that, at least make the thing a national matter, so that nobody else is able to intervene. And then the thing is already in the market. That they say that the mad person is already entered the market, so you can no longer close him. So that was what happened to Wabara. As for Saraki, I think Saraki was conciliatory largely to Buhari, to the president, to the government of APC. Because if take another person, for instance, all the things that he had been put through, this CCT, every other day you are in the court, this one, that one, that one. If it's another person, you just have damned the consequences long ago. You have crossed to the other party and take it up as a battle. Okay, if you win me, it's fine. If I win you, I win you. You will have exposed so many things about the government. You will have it is easy for the parliament to put the government in trouble. Yeah. More than the other way around. Then the government has structures, but the parliament can add a lot of things, and the constitution empowers them to do that. And when they are adding it, what the people want to know is, oh, this thing is happening, and you'll be scandalized. So, but I think he was able to manage it, thinking that there will be peace at the end of the day, pending, holding down so many things. Eventually, it turned out the way it is.
Okay, now finally and quickly now, Meza, as a key political journalist, now for you first now, what do you make of Saraki's political future? Senate chamber or Aso Rock in 2019?
I do not see him bidding for the presidency. At least as far as I know, I have not had a concrete statement from Saraki's end. He might have that interest, but certainly I don't see that interest being playing out this 2019. I think his concern would be how to get the PDP to power. Okay. I do not see him present. He might, politicians, he might present himself for presidency, but that might not even be his aim. I think his aim first is to get the APC out of the way. Okay. As for his political future, well, they will tell you, because we are religious, they will tell you our future, it's in the hands of God. But there are issues in Kwara where he comes from. There are people like those in the PDP, some of them have gone to the APC saying they cannot work with him because some of them feel that the Saraki family have been in power for quite a long time and they want to break that political dynasty. So he is going to encounter challenges even in his home state. But with the number or with the quality of people behind him, breaking that Saraki dynasty might not just be, it might not be now, it might not be in 2019. It might happen in the future, maybe in 2023, but it's 2019. I doubt if it is going to be very possible for those who are working against him to break that political dynasty.
Okay, now how about you, Taiwo? What do you make of Saraki's political future? Senate chamber or Aso Rock or otherwise?
Well, I see him mostly in the Senate, back into the Senate chamber. He's been a master of Kwara politics, so to say, having taken over from his father. So he's mastered that terrain very well. And like some people would comment in Kwara, if you talk to them, they say, well, we don't have party in Kwara, Saraki is our party. so it's been like that for some time. Yes, it doesn't mean that some people will not challenge. There will be challenges, but at the end of the day, you see Saraki. I don't see him having problems winning his Kwara Central Senatorial District back. But I also see him playing a lot of roles at the national level. The emergence of whoever becomes the candidate of the PDP. Also in seeing how PDP could outwit the final stage.
Thank you very much. It's actually been a detailed and insightful program this week. I really appreciate your presence, Omeza and Taiwo. Well, I think that's the much we can take this week on Inside Story. I'm going to see you again, same time, same station next week for more stories inside. Don't go anywhere. Stay on PTV. My name is Liliana Gazi.
Ni ne mai suna Tukur Sani daga Kajuru local government Kufana. Gaskiya mu a garin nan Kufana community duka muka taro muka zauna muka yi meeting game da matsalan hanyar nan, wannan rafin nan mun kai kuka a wajen hakimi, da shi hakimi ya ce to wannan matakin nan shi zai rubuta ya kai ma local government. Daga wurin kuma sai member na skip, wani kungiya ne na zaman kanta, shi ma wani member ya zo ya shigo da wannan budget na wannan gadan nan tun da dadewa, amma har yanzu ba mu samu cin gaba game da wannan hanyar ba. Har ila yau muna kan rubuta letoti, mun ma rubuta leta waɗanda sun mafi so 10. This is how we in Kufana, Kajuru local government, Kaduna State, no sit down look.
Skin. It's a fact of life. Your skin ages just like the rest of you. It's constantly exposed to the elements of the punishing sun and heat, to the beating cold and wind. It's impressive to know that it holds up as well as it does. Through the years, the largest organ in the human body weathers, sunburns, acne, stretching, and more without complaints. Your skin performs several critical roles. It keeps your body temperature regulated, protects you from infections and injury, filters impurity for you, as well as retains your body moisture. But those duties exact a price. Loss of elasticity topping the charts. Others are thinning skin, dry and cracked skin, wrinkles, blemishes, and spots are frequently signs of aging skin. Nonetheless, it is possible to desire and actually keep a young and youthful skin much longer than you thought. Simply follow these tips. Wash your body regularly, at least twice a day, morning and night. If you have oily skin, you may need to wash more than twice a day to remove the cream of the day. Never sleep with makeup on. Deep clean all of it, especially eye makeup, as it gradually introduces the unwanted wrinkles and discoloration. Also, insist on the right cleanser for your skin type. The natural cleansers are always the best. Avoid chemical cleansers. They can traumatize your skin. Skip long, hot showers and bath as they can dry out your skin. Use warm water only. Protect your skin from the sun as it aids rapid aging of your skin. Wear protective covers when going out on the sunny day, such as long sleeves, hats, and even sunglasses. Stay hydrated. Drinking water is essentially good for your body, including the skin. Women should aim at 2.2 liters of water, and men 3 liters per day. Avoid alcohol and artificial sweetened drinks. They dry out your skin. Beef up your meals with omega-3 fatty acid meals such as fish, walnuts, and soybeans. Lower stress level. Stress can cause a lot of acne breakouts on your skin, especially your face. Learn to relax your stress level by working on your mind, killing anxiety and depression with therapeutic exercises such as yoga, walks. Your skin pore opens and breathes better when you exercise. A little meditation helps. Sleep. Nothing beats a good sleep as rejuvenating your skin. A minimum of 6 and maximum of 8 hours of sleep aids not just your skin but your body to keep a youthful look.
Emergencies happen, but a lot of times emergencies can be avoided if we apply a little more care in all our dealings, at home, on the road, in public places, and even our offices. At the close of work, do you take your time to turn off all your electrical appliances? Check and double check all switches to ensure they are turned off before going home. It is not a bad habit to form. Apart from conserving electrical energy and cost, it goes a long way in protecting lives and property. Check all electrical outlets, at home and at work before going out. Yes, even your phone chargers. Disconnect them. No electrical current is little. A stitch in time saves 9.
5 keys to keeping your child on a healthy weight level. Be a good role model. Children learn by example, and so you must set good examples such as eating at the right time and the right quantity and quality, coupled with good exercise time. Get active. Overweight children do not need more exercise than the slimmer children. Their extra body weight means they will naturally burn more calories for the same activity. Child-sized food portions. Avoid feeding your child oversized portions. A good rule of thumb is to start meals with small servings and let them ask for more if they are still hungry. Eat healthy meals. Children, just like adults, should aim at 5 or more portions of fruits and vegetables every day. It is far better than the sugar-laden snacks we give them. Let them replace their carbonated drinks with water. Fizzy drinks are dangerous to their weights. Sleep. Let the children watch less TV and take in more sleep. Yes, this helps with weight loss management. Children should watch not more than 2 hours of TV a day, including the films from phones. They dream better when they sleep well. Besides, insufficient sleep can affect their behavior or mood.
Hello, my name is Dr. Christopher Otabo, consultant orthopedic and trauma surgeon. In the next few minutes, I'd like to talk to you about your health and safety. Several thousands of Nigerians are killed annually from road traffic accidents, others maimed. Most of these accidents are preventable if we follow the following basic precautions. Avoid driving under the influence of alcohol. It alters your sense of judgment. Avoid overspeeding. You cannot control your vehicle should any unexpected events occur. Avoid distracted driving, such as taking a call, texting, or watching a video while behind the steering wheels. If you feel sleepy while driving, stop and take a short nap before continuing your journey. It could save your life and those of others. Do not drive if you have epilepsy or other health conditions that makes driving risky. Avoid overloading your vehicle. It makes control difficult. Make sure your tires are in good shape and your brakes and horns are functioning perfectly. Now your destiny is in your own hands. If you follow the precautions I just outlined, you will get home safely to be with your family. Otherwise, you could end up with me here or with them there.
Oval in shape, with a pronounced bulge on one end. Lemons are the most versatile fruits around and contains a
On Facebook, like our page and share our posts at People's TV NG. On Twitter, follow us at PTV_NG. Follow us on Instagram at PTVNG. Watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel, People's TV. Visit our website, www.ptvng.com. Subscribe now and join the conversation online. People's TV, people's preferred station.
Did you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the tallest reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
For innovative research-based analysis, fresh news and programs, join us on PTV, the People's Oriented Station, transmitting on Star Times Channel 120, showing across 36 states in Nigeria, and Channel 77 on Strong Decoder across 52 countries. Yes, you asked for it. Now you have the best of television. You can also follow us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. People's Television, powered by you.
My name is Femi Anikula Kokuti. This is just to tell you, beg you, plead with you, don't let anybody lure you into being violent. It's very important for us to have a peaceful elections. We need to think about the future of this country, of our children. We can be a great nation. And the first step is desist from being violent. Let's have a peaceful elections.
Good afternoon. Welcome to PTV Today. I am Daniel Waboso. Kano State's Deputy Governor Hafiz Abubakar has tendered his letter of resignation amidst political crisis. Abubakar's notice of resignation was contained in a letter he wrote to Governor Abdullahi Ganduje. Outgoing Deputy Governor said he had wanted to remain in office until 2019 but chose to resign due to irreconcilable differences with the governor. When contacted, Information Commissioner Mohammed Garba confirmed receipt of the resignation letter. Abubakar, who is a loyalist of former Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso, had been at loggerheads with the governor for siding with Kwankwaso on the political impasse in the state. It will be recalled that the former deputy governor had on Tuesday petitioned the police over alleged threats to his life and plans to impeach him. Now, Gombe State Governor Ibrahim Dankwambo has promised not to engage in any blame game if elected president in 2019. Dankwambo recently declared his intent to run for president in the next year's election under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, where he will be contesting the party's ticket alongside former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and others. Moving forward now, Akwa Ibom Deputy Governor Pa Moses Ekpo has reportedly resigned his position as the state's #2 citizen. He's also reported to be moving with Senator Godswill Akpabio, immediate past governor of the state, to the All Progressives Congress APC this week. According to the news agency of Nigeria, though the resignation has not yet been confirmed officially by the Akwa Ibom government, but an APC media organ at APC newspaper has tweeted that Ekpo, the oldest deputy governor in Nigeria, has tendered his resignation letter. The reformed All Progressives Congress has accused the leadership of the All Progressives Congress of trying to woo senators with 50 million naira to facilitate the removal of Senate President Bukola Saraki, who recently defected from the APC. The RAPC made this known in a statement on Sunday by its publicity secretary, Kashim Afegboa. However, the RAPC did not provide any evidence to back the claim. Senate Minority Leader Godswill Akpabio has met President Muhammadu Buhari in London This is coming 4 days to the widely reported defection of the former Akwa Ibom state governor from the People's Democratic Party. Akpabio had earlier met Vice President Yemi Osinbajo on Thursday, after which news of his planned defection emerged. That meeting was facilitated by Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Etta Enang, who defected to the ruling party in 2015. The PDP chieftain also met APC national leader Bola Asiwaju before his London meeting with the holidaying president. Akpabio's planned defection is scheduled to hold at the Ikotek Bene Township Stadium in Akwa Ibom on Thursday. The presidency has again appealed to the National Assembly to reconvene and treat pending matters needing urgent attention. Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Etta Enang, made this plea in Lagos during an interactive session with newsmen. He listed some of the pending urgent issues at the National Assembly, to include the approval of a supplementary budget to fund the 2018 budget and the 2019 general election. The approval of a supplementary budget, according to Enang, will enable INEC commence preparation for the polls in 2019. Also pending are key appointments for the Deputy CBN Governor, AMCON, the EFCC and the ICPC. The federal government now says 116 Nigerian migrants trapped in different Libyan slave camps would be repatriated home soon. This was made known by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Matters, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, on Sunday. Dabiri-Erewa said the federal government and the International Organization of Migration have located the detention camps of the Nigerians and offered to bring those willing back home. The Nigerian mission in Tripoli, she said, had traced the migrants to Osama detention camp, Zawiya, Libya. Now, the military police have arrested 2 suspected fraudsters, Mohammed Musa, Shafiu Yahaya. They were picked up for allegedly defrauding unsuspecting potential recruitment of about 1.3 million naira. Spokesman for Nigerian Military School, Zaria Adekunle Adeyemi, said the suspects were arrested near an army cantonment.
To the activities of some fraudsters finding themselves in Zaria metropolis as military officers and indulging in defrauding unsuspecting potential recruits of their hard-earned money. These fraudsters use the social media proxies to lure their victims to pay them money as inducement on promise of assisting to get them recruited into the Nigerian army. On the 29th day of July 2018, Messrs. Musa Mohammed and Shafiu Yahaya, who are before you here, are among these recruitment racketeers were arrested near Shindi cantonment by Home Military Police when some victims who they had defrauded raised alarm. The arrested suspects attested in their confessional statement to have so far defrauded no fewer than 8 potential recruits to the tune of 1,310,000 naira, which was shared among themselves. It will interest you to know that the battery of 163,000 naira only was recovered from them, as they claim to have spent the balance.
5 suspected Boko Haram suicide bombers were confirmed dead on Sunday night after they invaded a town in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. The blast, however, injured 3 other residents. Multiple deafening explosions, the first of its kind to be heard by residents in recent times, echoed all over Maiduguri at about 7 p.m. on Sunday, causing major panic amongst residents. It was reported that the multiple blasts came from Kalari, a crowded Maiduguri suburb located behind the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital. Now, troops on the military exercise tagged Operation Wild Stroke have dislodged army militiamen in Guma local government area of Benue State. The security operation was said to have been carried out along Bajimba Akko axis of the council area. Army police spokesman Brigadier General Texas Chukwu disclosed in a statement that several armed gunmen were killed but did not give a figure. He added that thoughts escaped with gunshot wounds. Items recovered include one AK-47 rifle, two AK-47 rifle magazines, and 60 rounds of 4.36mm ammunition and 5 motorcycles. A wanted Boko Haram suspect Maje Lawan has been arrested by troops of the Operation Lafia Dole. Lawan is said to be the 96th person listed on the wanted list published by the Nigerian Army some years ago. The suspect was arrested after he was said to have infiltrated and internally displaced persons camp in Bakin area of Borno State. A statement released by the Director of Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Texas Chukwu, reveals that the suspect is undergoing preliminary investigation and will soon be handed over to the appropriate authorities. Nigeria fighter jets have successfully conducted air and raid on Boko Haram hideouts in Daban, Masara in Borno State. The location of the airstrikes is in the vicinity of the Lake Chad, where the insurgents are said to have put up structures. Air Force spokesman Air Commodore Ibikule Darmola said the air raid was conducted based on credible intelligence. The targets were also the southern part of the lake. Following the recent police protests in Maiduguri by policemen, personnel, there is an assurance now that the outstanding allowance will be paid. The police authorities have finalized payment to pay all outstanding allowances of operatives in special assignments in Borno State. Commissioner of Police Damian Chukwu made this known during an interactive session at the command headquarters in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. He used the occasion to also remind them that the ban on public procession is still in force in the state and that the police will not hesitate to enforce the law on persons or groups who breach it. Moving on to drug abuse stories now, where the Northern Women Assembly, NWA, has raised an alarm over the increasing use of hard drugs by women in Kano and Katsina states. The NWA President Aisha Hussein identified peer pressure and frustration as the reason for increasing drug abuse. According to her, the rate of drugs used amongst women in 2 states have surpassed men. She also suggested a collaboration between the government and the private organizations as the best way to combat the menace. The federal government has invested over 300 billion naira on road construction and rehabilitation across the country. This, according to Minister of Works, Power and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, is part of efforts to revamp the country's infrastructure. He said at a retreat for senior staff that there had never been a retreat like this to keep them abreast on some critical federal government projects. The Permanent Secretary, Lois Edozian, who was represented by his Director of Procurement, also explained the basis for the retreat.
There was no national housing program in place 3 years ago. And today, there is a national housing program where we are building in 34 states.
The retreat is to provide an opportunity for senior management of the ministry to develop team working skills, motivational and positive attitudes required to manage the important national sectors we supervise more effectively.
Moving on to the foreign scene, where Chicago police have confirmed the death of 5 people and the shooting of 44 others within the space of 14 hours. Police records show that in 3 hours, beginning at 1:30 a.m. and 30 people were shot and 2 people killed in 10 incidents. Fred Waller, Chief Bureau of Patrol, Chicago Police Department, says at least one accident, shooters opened fire into a crowded street party, adding that the shooting occurred between midnight and 2 p.m. Police said before the violence Sunday, there were 6 shootings, 1 non-fatal and 15 non-fatal on Saturday. Moving on to Indonesia, where tourists fled the Indonesian island of Lombok on Monday after a magnitude 6.9 earthquake killed at least 91 people. They're told that it is expected to rise. More than 200 people were reportedly injured in Saturday's shallow quake. As a result, workers scrambled to reach survivors in remote areas. National Disaster Mitigation Agency spokesman Suputo Puno Nugroho said the damage was massive in northern Lombok. Presidential hopeful in the Democratic Republic of Congo have until Wednesday to file their candidacy with the Electoral Commission ahead of the election in December. The Congolese people are waiting to see if President will submit his documents to run again. He is barred by the Constitution from running for a 3rd term, but has not openly declared his intentions. Former rebel leader has submitted his candidacy to the Electoral Commission. We're on to U.S. now, where U.S. President Donald Trump has admitted his son met a Russian lawyer in June 2016 to get information on an opponent, but argues it was legal. It is most important direct statement so far on the reason for Donald Trump's Jr. meeting with Kremlin-linked lawyer Natalia at the Trump Tower. Special counsel Robert Mueller is investigating U.S. intelligence findings that Russians conspired to sway the elections in Mr. Trump's favor. President Trump denies any conclusion. He has called the ongoing investigation in the U.S. the greatest political witch hunt in history. And now Saudi Arabia expelled Canadian ambassador over alleged interference in the kingdom's domestic affairs after Ottawa's foreign ministry debunked Riyadh for jailing human rights activists. Canadian ambassador Dennis Horak was given 24 hours to leave the country, Saudi Arabia press agency reported. The announcement came days after Canada called for the implementation release of right campaigners detained during a recent wave of arrests in Saudi Arabia, including relatives of naturalized Canadian citizens. Saudi Arabia also suspended all new trade deals worth billions of dollars and recalled its envoy to Canada. Now stock across Asia advanced on Monday as China's efforts to stop sharp declines in its currency and capital flights supported wider sentiment in the region while oil rises. The escalating Sino-US trade conflict capped gains. Meanwhile, Brent crude futures about $37.62, while U.S. crude also features $68.82 a barrel. Analysts ruled blatant oil pricing manipulation. Brent sweet crude oil was supposed to be at least $100 late on Friday. The People's Bank of China reserved the requirement on some foreign exchange forward positions, making it more expensive to bet across Chinese currency. Let's move. And that's the much we can take on PTV today. Many thanks for watching. I am Daniel Mwaboso.
Do you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the talent reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
Soldiers helping Nigerian soldiers fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislators.
This is coming together of people who are engaged.
Executive order should comply with the law.
I personally dissociate myself completely. From this interview, because you have said
there had hardly been any administration.
No religious body in Nigeria
validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is
Ours is a country of vast tropical and equatorial woodlands with arid deserts to extensive savanna grasslands, expansive mountains, immense rivers, numerous waterfalls, and mystical forests. Nigeria has it all. It is a place of rhythm, of dance, of music, of festivals, of tradition and culture, of spectacular color, of glamour, and a country of 200 million smiles. And home to a unique people of incomparable passion. A country blessed with breathtaking landscapes, home to some of the most diverse equatorial flora and fauna species on the earth. Nigeria is the undisputed welcoming heart of Africa. We have 521 unique ethno-linguistic groups. The world's newest and organic language, Pidgin, the world's oldest structural sign language, Hausa Sign Language. In addition to the world's oldest continuous market, the 600-year-old Kurmi market, which is situated within the ancient northern city of Kano, where 1,000-year-old city walls can still be found intact to this day. Nigeria has unique and ancient cultures, traditions and customs, and is steeped in spirituality, with as many Muslims as Christians. We also boast the world's oldest systematic religious philosophical system in Ifa, also known as Afa, and practiced as Santeria, Candomblé, Palo, Ubanda and Voodoo, and in various countries around the world. Nigeria is also home to the world's oldest purpose-built boat, the 8,500-year-old Ifuna canoe. Nigeria is the home of African sports, both ancient and modern, and has always been the beating heart of African football, which has gifted the world with some of the most dynamic and creative football players of all time. Gifted the world with music and artists such as the late Fela Kuti, King Sunny Ade, Seal, and many international performing artists, including Dame Shirley Bassey and Shadi Adu. Our country has also gifted the world with giants of African literature and poetry. Nigeria is a country on the move, a country of hard-working people and industrious and creative people. Our film industry, known as Nollywood, produces more movies in one day than Hollywood produces in 2 weeks, and is the place of thousands of stars and of millions of wonderfully welcoming warm people. We are a country of kings, of queens, businessmen and businesswomen. A place of vast sprawling game parks, a country where African traditions have always been first. A country of drums, of colors, culture, of festivals, of music, of rhythm and art. This is Nigeria. There is simply nothing quite like it.
Oval in shape, with a pronounced bulge on one end. Lemons are the most versatile fruits around and contains a high level of vitamins. The juicy yellow fleshy fruit is a little too sour to eat on its own, but its citrus fragrance and tartness aids its combination with all manner of ingredients and dishes, from the sweet to the savory. The lemon is a blessing to mankind, as its uses and application varies from department to department. Starting with the morning, a glass of water laced with lemon is a great way to start your day, as it boosts your energy. Lemon water provides your body with lots of hydrating electrolytes in the form of potassium, calcium and magnesium, and aids our bodies push out toxins. Lemon water helps our bodies with digestion angst through the citric acid contained in the lemon. This acid interacts with various enzymes in the body and stimulates the secretion of gastric juice, as well as help the liver to produce more enzymes for better functionality achieved by liver cleansing. Lemon water aid in the fight against sore throat, tonsils inflammation, constipation, and general body metabolism. You may be surprised to note that the intake of lemon actually does a whole lot to your system as well as your skin. The fight against acne is best fought with lemon as a weapon. The lemon peel is another wonder on its own and must not be thrown away. It contains lots of nutrients, 5 to 10 times more than the juice itself. It is an excellent source of fiber, potassium, beta-carotene, calcium folate, and more, and so can aid in preventing arthritis, rheumatoid, arthritis, osteoporosis, oxidative stress. It helps fight cancer too. Lemon has other daily uses for mankind beside health. Its alluring scent and antibacterial effect makes it an excellent underarm deodorant. The use of lemon for skin scrubs help extensively in removing blemish and a large degree rejuvenates the skin, even the complexion. With tough stain, lemons come in handy with enzymes in their acids that are strong enough to whiten everything, from our teeth to your new cotton cloth. Little wonder, most store-bought cleansing products are always laced with a bit of lemon. This nature gift is all around us and so cheap. Why not make the most of it?
5 keys to keeping your child on a healthy weight level. Be a good role model. Children learn by example, and so you must set good examples such as eating at the right time and the right quantity and quality, coupled with good exercise time. Get active. Overweight children do not need more exercise than the slimmer children. Their extra body weight means they will naturally burn more calories for the same activity. Child-sized food portions. Avoid feeding your child oversized portions. A good rule of thumb is to start meals with small servings and let them ask for more if they are still hungry. Eat healthy meals. Children, just like adults, should aim at 5 or more portions of fruits and vegetables every day. It is far better than the sugar-laden snacks we give them. Let them replace their carbonated drinks with water. Fizzy drinks are dangerous to their weights. Sleep. Let the children watch less TV and take in more sleep. Yes, this helps with weight loss management. Children should watch not more than 2 hours of TV a day, including the films from phones. They train better when they sleep well. Besides, insufficient sleep can affect their behavior or mood.